Well, Trenton, it's that time of year again. It is Christmas time, and as usual, we get hundreds of direct messages. I'm sure you get plenty of emails, and I'm sure Discord's going nuts with Christmas ideas.
It is a hot topic around the holidays, especially if you got friends and family that love bourbon, they love whiskey, any kind of spirit like that. So it's like, what do you get somebody? And don't get me wrong, I struggled with this too, because when Kurt was first getting into it, I had no idea what he liked. He was just bringing down box after box of stuff, and I honestly wasn't here enough.
Not bottle after bottle? Box after box? Boy, that sounds bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. And it's tough because when you have somebody that has a pretty decent sized collection, it's hard to know what good things to get them. Something that might be a little bit different than what they're used to. So I don't even know how many
We've got all kinds of stuff up here. We just were kind of going nuts.
Probably 25 bottles that we're going to recommend. Bourbon whiskey rye.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because we haven't filmed in a while and we're excited.
I have a lot of energy right now, so
I can tell. As you all know, we kind of got sick last week, and it's just the way it was. But we were extremely lucky. Trent and I usually, and we're very fortunate. We're both kind of the same in this regard. We kind of shoot from the hip all the time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we truly don't sit down and script out our videos or nothing else. We kind of text each other. What do you think? Yep. Okay, well, yeah, all right, cool. And we get here and we think about it and we go. And that's what we do. But for some reason, it worked out to where we thought we should film ahead a little bit.
2 videos ahead,
yeah. We were 2 videos ahead, and that never happens. It's a good thing it did, because we wouldn't have had a Friday video.
Yeah,
unless it wouldn't have happened.
If it would have been Kurt and me on a Zoom from bed, probably. It wasn't looking good.
It wasn't good, but the good part of it is Trenton, he's like 100%, but he's just a kid. I'm about...
Still got a little, I can feel my lymph nodes.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm about 80, 85%, but let me trust. Way better than what I was.
It was not
way
good.
Better. It wasn't pretty, but thank you all for your concern. We've had thousands of messages and well wishes, and it's very, very kind of you. So thank you so much, but we're both doing better. And the best part of it all is Grammy is home from the hospital.
Yes.
My mom spent a week in the hospital. We're going to reschedule our live show. We can't cancel that too, so it's going to be this Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll go more into detail about our Grammy and everything that happened. So we won't deal with that with this particular video, but join us in the live stream.
All the festivities with the hair shaving and everything else that's happening. I'm only going to ever mention that when it comes to this live stream. Blinds and waxings and this. We're going to talk more about our Riley's event when we're going to do that. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to have a whole bunch of fun. So this Friday, 8 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
It's happening regardless. If I got to do it from bed, we're going to do it.
We got to do it. Yep. It just has been put off way too long.
All right, what do you got?
All right, buddy. Well, first of all, I want to mention I don't really like to self-promote much at all. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right when I do that stuff. But if you want to look at any of our merchandise that we have, Trenton does a fantastic job with all that stuff. You can find us at slbdrinks.com. So if you want to give any of our merchandise as gifts, feel free to look at that, and all the praise and glory goes to him. I'm just a model that looks great.
That is true. That is true, yep.
All right, moving on from there, Trent. I just want to touch really quickly on a few cocktail items here. A lot of people anymore, we love old fashions and just basic cocktails, right?
Oh yeah.
So just a few things that somebody who wants to get into making just a few cocktails, nothing professional, not a professional level here. Old fashioned, whiskey sour, something simple. You're just going to need a few things. So if you want to give these as gifts, make sure you find some kind of a measuring tool. I like the bell jigger myself, but you got I think you use the Japanese jiggers.
I do. Yeah.
So some kind of a measuring tool. I use a set of shaker tins here, whatever shaking device you like to use. Some use the Boston shaker, but I like the shaking tin. Get yourself some form of a mixing glass, great for the old fashioned there. If you have a mixing glass, you're definitely going to need the old bar spoon here. And then I would go just with a Hawthorne strainer, because a strainer here, you can get the julep strainer too, but this Hawthorne strainer will not only fit your tin over here as it's supposed to, but it also fit the mixing glass as well and serve the purpose. So for those few little items there, you can set somebody up really nicely. If somebody's just into old fashions, you can go with this right here. If they want the whole package, you can go with the whole package. But just a few things would be a great Christmas idea for somebody who really wants to get in some basic cocktails.
Do you have any recommendations for brands that you like to use their products, or is it just go on Amazon and find something?
Yeah.
Is that a bar above?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize, buddy. It is, and I'm searching for my glasses, and I'm sure there's somewhere in the bottom of all this stuff we have everywhere. But a bar above, and I think that's what these tins are too.
It says PEC on it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, everything that I get is actually on Amazon. There's so many things on Amazon you can choose from there. Mm-hmm. It's really easy, simple. You know, you'll be able to find anything you need on Amazon.
Anything that we talk about in today's video will be in the description. I say that now. I might forget, so I apologize, but I will try and remember.
Thank you. That's good. Excellent. All right, but I'll let you start with the bottles. Now we're moving on to strictly bottles.
So I can't remember. How did we categorize this again? It was, so we have bourbons and we have ryes. Mm-hmm. The idea was that to kind of hit every price point, sometimes you have family members you see once a year that you do gifts. Maybe you don't want to spend $50 because you know they're going to get you some socks and undies, right? So maybe you want to spend $20, $25, something like that, and then we kind of step it up a little bit.
Everybody has budgets, you know?
Right, yeah.
We all have
especially
our budgets.
Around the holidays.
And you know, some families you got to buy for 15, 20 people.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you can't afford to be buying $100 gifts. That's
so
just all there is to it.
We try to hit kind of every price point, every preference that we can. We have some medium, low, medium, high price stuff, and then we have a unique. Did you do a unique? I did a unique thing. Okay.
I did.
So if you have somebody that's like really into bourbons, whiskeys, they have a big collection, something you might be able to look into that they don't, maybe they don't have, or something that's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. I'm a rye guy, so I did the ryes. I had 20 bottles out on the bar top, and I narrowed
those are all ryes?
These are all ryes. I narrowed it down to
excellent.
12.
All right.
First, this might surprise you a little bit. Are we going to go back and forth?
I don't care how you want to do it. You just tell me.
We'll go back and forth.
All right, you're the boss.
So we'll do the first three, and we'll do the three.
Sure.
My first one is George Dickel Rye.
Yeah.
This is like $25, and you hear Dickel, and you're like, oh, that's maybe not the best reputation, but I honestly think the rye is probably their best product. We've had the 15-year, we've had the 8, the 13. Like, they have a lot of...
Especially in the lower price category, that rye's delicious.
Yes. And George Dickel does some really good low-proof ryes, and this is 90 proof. So if you have somebody that doesn't like high-proof ryes, or is getting introduced to ryes, or it's also not expensive, like $25, $30. Mm-hmm. So I think this is a good way to go. Yeah. And we did a video on this not too long, a couple months ago. Maybe.
It's been a little while.
Something that I don't know we've talked about is the Riverset Rye. Mm-hmm. These are actually single barrels. This is a barrel strength. We got this in Memphis. It was a store pick. I can't remember the store.
Yeah, you're the one that actually turned me on to it and told me all about it, and so we were lucky to pick that up.
Yeah. Riverset Rye is actually made by BR Distilling, the same folks that make the Blue Note Juke Joint and the Blue Note products. They're out of Memphis, Tennessee. These are like $40, $45, and it's barrel strength rye, and it's delicious. I don't know the availability of these just because I think they're usually store picks, but I've gone into several stores and I see these, they don't necessarily fly off the shelf.
My bad. My apologies.
You're breaking stuff over there, man. So this is also a good option for a higher proof, lower price point option. And then last but not least, one of my ride or dies, Pikesville Rye. This is a 6-year rye coming out of Heaven Hill, 110 proof, usually around $45, $50.
On a recent blind that we had, remember?
It did. Oh, it did.
So
yeah,
good.
It's delicious. So
it's really, really good.
If you're looking for a lower proof or a lower price rye, don't pass any of these up. Yep. They're all really solid options, I think.
Yeah. All right. For me, I went with lower cost. You know, when it comes to bourbon, and when you're talking lower cost bourbon, there is a plethora of ideas. So I'm just going to throw out some standards to you. I'm going to start with Wild Turkey 101. I mean, you can't go wrong with Wild Turkey 101. $22, $23 in our area, 101 proof. You know, you're going to get that beautiful sweet and sour thing, a little bit of that barrel note coming through. Fantastic stuff. Also, I'm going to go treading with a little Jim Beam coming down the old Granddad bottle and bottle.
Great bottle, yeah.
It's a great bottle, about the same price point. I love this bottle. At first, I really didn't have quite the affinity for it that I do now. Mm-hmm. But when we did that, our Bourbon Madness tournament, or no, it was the Bottle and Bond tournament.
Yes, it was.
And I had that one bottle that I just loved, and since then I've replaced it 2 or 3 times, and I use it for mixing too as well. Last but not least, I'll throw you out this Old Forester 100, and this is one of their big jugs here, but the Old Forester 100, you know, you can't go wrong with that either, about the same price point. But you can go Maker's Mark, you can go Early Times, Bottle and Bond. I mean, there's so many wonderful lower priced and also, you know, roughly lower proofed options. You know, these are just a few.
Yeah, it's tough. And
I could have filled up the bar.
I think I know what remiss means, but I'm going to use it anyways. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that this Old Granddad Bottle and Bond is a high rye, so it drinks a little bit spicier than something like this.
Yes, it does. So, and you're right.
I got popcorn.
You're not remiss. You don't have to say the ED either. You just say you're remiss.
Okay. Well, that's I've never actually used that.
Now watch, I'm wrong. Everybody tell me I'm wrong.
God, Robert, please.
Yeah, Robert Sheard. I will only trust him in this. And who's right and who's wrong here.
I should really get one of those word of the day things to really, and I'll use that word in a video somewhere.
Robert's one of our good friends. He's a patron. He's also a retired English teacher. So we can trust his opinion on this.
That's a good idea,
yes.
I think.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to get a word of the day calendar, and I'm going to try and slip the word in the first person to say the proper or comment the right word in the comments.
Yes, and Robert's
I'll send you
judge.
something. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Anyways.
Good deal, buddy. You're next.
Okay. I guess I'll just remove these from the.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard not to.
I could cut the video, but I'm kind of a lazy editor, so it's not really kind of my thing. So my next is kind of a middle-ish high. So let me start by saying that ryes are usually a little bit more time-consuming and expensive to make. So the price point for ryes is usually a little bit higher than it is for a bourbon. So one of the old Indiana distilleries, Hard Truth, this is their sweet mash rye. I haven't really been disappointed with any of the Hard Truth stuff. That Harvest Road or the one you put in a blind.
Yeah.
Was it Harvest something? Railroad Harvest something Indiana like. I wasn't the biggest fan of that one. There's a lower proof though, but these Hard Truth sweet mash ryes, they do store picks of these. They do different barrels and batches, usually around $70-$75, and I think they're usually a 2 or a 3 year. But the proof point varies. This one's 115 proof, so good. Good proof point.
Great stuff.
And it's delicious. I have to put Sagamore in here. I'm putting and I say I had to put Sagamore in here because I love every single one of their products. I have never been disappointed, with the exception of the rum cast finish. I think the rum cast finish Sagamore is bad. Hot take. This is 96.6 proof. This is the Double Oak. They have an 8 year. They have a bottled and bond. They have tons of finishes, and they're all really good.
Yeah, and this Double Oak you can pretty much find all over the place.
Yeah.
At least we can. Hopefully y'all can too.
Usually $60 to $90 depending on the finish, depending on the age, and what varietal or what label you get. But they're all really good. Next, let's go with this one. Alberta Premium. You snuck this.
I did.
Into a video, and it won. And it's delicious. I was fortunate enough to find 2 cases of these for $15 a piece. So I bought 2 cases of them because usually they're around $70 to $80. I've heard they might still be on closeout. So if you can find it, just because it's marked down from like $80 to $15, I'd buy it all day, every day. I drink these very, very regularly. I'm going to go with the Willet Ryes next. This is an 8 year. I thought I grabbed the 4 year, but I did not.
Okay.
So the 4 year is usually around $65-$70, maybe a little bit more on the allocated side, harder to find side. You can buy cases and cases of this if you go to Kentucky or know somebody that's in Kentucky. We were seeing this in Indiana like once a month, if that. We were buying them when we saw them, but then they had like a whole shelf of them in Kentucky when we went for the first time.
They were everywhere, in every store.
Yeah.
And all in relatively around the same price, $65.
So this is also a really good option. And then I've heard this is a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. The only reason I'm putting this in here is because I've heard this is becoming a little bit more shelf available.
Oh really?
Yeah, shelf stable.
Okay.
These are around $75. This one in particular, if you have somebody that likes a high proof and also a high proof rye, this one comes in at 134.5. Yep. So it'll knock your socks off, but it'll
wake you up.
It's delicious. It's really just, I love it. It's delicious.
That's good.
Let me try and move this over so you have enough.
Are you done? That's quite a few.
I had to put 5 in there. I'm sorry.
Good job. I'm proud of you. All right, Trent, for my middle of the road here, I'm going to start with something that's pretty prototypical, something I think you should be able to find, is the new Bardstown Origin Series, specifically the Weeder. Mm-hmm. This is my favorite of the bunch, and it's going to run you about $50. I'm so glad Bardstown came up with the Origin Series because they needed that, middle of the road pricing, that $50, and they hit it right on the mark with this weeded option, the black label. So start with that, go from there. If you're lucky enough, a fantastic gift if you're lucky enough to find it. And I get a lot of messages about this one. People are dying to find it, and they just can't find it a lot of the times. This John J. Bowman single barrel. I think that's a caramel bomb. It's caramelicious. And I think if you give this as a particular gift, you can't go wrong. Somebody's gonna like it.
Yeah.
Let's just say, you know how it is when you give gifts. You're wondering, I wonder if that person will like it. You wonder if that person will ever even use what you give them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like giving you a bottle of scotch. If somebody gives you a bottle of scotch, you'll be smiling, going, right? Yeah. But you give this to any kind of a whiskey drinker, it's going to get used. Yeah. It's great. It's great stuff. Now going from there to get a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Harder to find, a little bit maybe more unique. I threw in a Knob Creek 12 year. Mm-hmm. You're going to jump up a little bit in price here. Was that, Trent? You're going to have to tell me $60-$70 maybe?
65, 70,
so
maybe 75.
Might be a little bit harder to find, but I think that would be a fabulous gift. If somebody gave me a Knob Creek 12 year, I'd be saying thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now, a little bit harder to find, but I think would be a wonderful present for a whiskey drinker is this rice whiskey out of Louisiana. It's JT Meleck. If you can find it or have somebody help you find it. It's a wonderful sipper. It is super smooth. Yeah. I don't know if it's because of the construction of the rice, in there. I don't know, but it's just it's viscous. It's creamy. It's smooth. It's brown sugar delight. It's got everything in it. And if you find a store pick of this stuff too, even better. So
I don't know how they cram all that flavor into a rice whiskey.
I don't either. I love it. I really do. It's great.
We liked it. We like it so much. We actually did a barrel pick a couple weeks ago. We liked it so much. We got 2 barrels.
Yes, we did.
Because it was that good. So don't pass this one up. This one is the non-store pick. This is like
that's a shelf bottle if you can find it. But yeah, great folks down at JT Meleck. We had a wonderful time. Last but not least, you have to go to the distillery. But Glenns Creek OCD 5, extremely unique bottle, a delicious bourbon. $60? Wasn't that what it was, Trenton?
I think if I'm remembering what David said, David, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I think he said they have limited distribution in Kentucky, maybe Ohio or Tennessee.
Tennessee, something like that.
You're right. It's limited distribution, but you can also get it at the distillery. It's by Castle and Key.
Yeah, thanks for the correction on that because you are right. He did say it is limited. I think you're right. I think it might be Kentucky, Tennessee. I'm pretty sure, but regardless, if you can find it, it's super delicious. This one's 108 proof. They don't have a standard aging time on their barrels.
When it's done, it's done.
It's done. It's done. They taste them.
Yeah. Turns out pretty good.
It's roughly 4 to 5 years, but they don't say, okay, oh my God, this one's 4 years. Let's go get it. No, doesn't happen that way. It's all hands on over there. They're great folks. So if you want to get something that's really unique that your particular friend or family member that you're going to give the gift to probably doesn't have, because that's you were just saying that. Yeah. What should I get? I don't know what he doesn't have.
Yeah,
probably not this one.
Yeah,
be a great one to get.
Cool story behind the bottle too, and the history of that distillery.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got so much stuff, Trenton. This is fun.
Can you see? No, we can't. All right. Last but not least. I went with a little bit more of a unique type of rye. With this uniqueness comes a little bit more of a price increase, anywhere from $60 to $90. First one is the Middle West Ported Pumpernickel Rye. This is the double cask collection. I bought 2 cases of this because this was also on closeout, and it's one of my favorite ryes that I've ever had.
Is that yours or mine?
Yours, yeah. Don't worry, I have 12 if you need another one.
I think I have one. I think I have a backup. I don't have that many. I don't have 10 or 12 backups, but I've got one.
I don't know if they're coming out with this again, so I might have panic bought, but still, I got it for 50% off, so I thought it was a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
It's very unique. It kind of tastes like if you were standing next to a lit firework. Mm-hmm. A little sulfury, but I love it. It's delicious.
It is.
Next, and this is one that I Haven't had a ton of experience with, but a couple months ago I bought one and I can't keep my hands off it. This is the Barrell Seagrass, and it is like one of the best finished ryes that I've ever had. It's a little bit on the pricier side. I think it's $80.
Yeah.
But there is so much going on in this.
Yeah.
It's a great summer rye to drink. It's really light, refreshing. Kind of reminds me of like a tropical beach. And it's all around good. So if you can find that one, that's a good one.
Yep.
And then last but not least for me, I have the New Riff 6-year malted rye. Okay. It was between this or the Balboa Rye. Both are really good. If you're fortunate enough to be able to find the malted 6-year sherry finish, that's a cask strength, forget about it. These are a little bit more readily available. I'm not sure of the distribution for the sherry finish malted rye. This is also a really good one. On the lower side, I think it's 60 or 65 bucks. So right about 10 bucks a year.
All right.
It's really unique, and it is 100 proof. So it's unique, lower proof. I didn't say the proofs on any of these. This is 120, and I think this is 110. Oh, this is 99.5. Cool. So if you want something that's a little bit more on the unique side for a rye drinker, several different proof points, a little bit higher of a price, but in my opinion, for something that's a little bit more unique, well worth it for a good gift. So.
Definitely. Great job. All right, what I did for the bourbon is I also went for something a little bit more on the unique side because we're giving Christmas gifts, right? So I wanted to try to highlight store picks, in general. So for me, Trenton, every once in a while you go around and you find these High West picks. Yeah. Right? And they're pretty darn good. I don't even know, I haven't opened it yet. It's a cognac pick. So this one's excellent. I think my friend Stuart helped me get this one, but you'll find these every so often, right? In the rye, and also in the bourbon. This one's the bourbon, but these the High West store picks here, can't go wrong with that. They're all very good. Sorry about that. I'm trying to follow the rules here. I got bottles here I'm bumping into.
Yeah, we have
stuff everywhere.
I'm not very good with cameras, so sometimes it's a little off focus. So we gotta set it really close.
That's all right. Sorry. That's all right. Also, what I love are these right here, dude. These Russell's Reserve single barrel store picks are fantastic. Most of them are really, really great. Have you ever had one that you didn't like? Because sometimes you get store picks that most of the time they're really good. I've never had a single barrel that I didn't like.
I've only ever purchased one Russell store pick because I'm just not the biggest Wild Turkey fan. There's other store picks that I gravitate towards.
That makes sense.
But the one that I do have, I got about this much left in it. It's about a quarter left, and I do really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think it's a Camp Nelson something or another.
Okay.
I'm bad with all the Wild Turkey warehouses and particulars. But.
That's all right. And if you have to get really fortunate, and I did on this one, on our last trip to Texas, remember we walked in that liquor store, and this guy had this Four Roses single barrel store pick sitting on just right up there by the register. Not overpriced at all either. It was relatively close to MSRP. And it was just there. That was the last one he had. Chris's, I think. What it called? Yeah, Chris's Liquor. Yeah. This is an OESO. But if you really want to try to impress one of your whiskey drinking friends, try to find one of these Four Roses single barrel store picks. But pretty much any store pick in general will be a little bit more, I think, authentic, a little bit more personal of a gift, than an $80, $90 bottle of bourbon.
If you happen to purchase any one of these bottles for a gift and they don't like it, you can blame us. We'll take full responsibility. We won't be able to reimburse you for our suggestion, but I think if you get any one of these for a gift, the person is going to be delighted to get it.
Well, these are all just ideas from us, but let's keep in mind, Trenton. I mean, the most important thing about Christmas isn't what gift you're giving, it's who you're spending time with. And make sure you spend good quality time with family and friends. We were just notified, say it quickly, we'll spend more time on this on the live stream, but we were just notified of one of our community members, SLB community members, Neil, that unfortunately passed away from a tragic car accident November the 2nd. And, that's heartbreaking. 56 years old. He loved SLB. He was running around all over creation trying to find the whiskeys that we would recommend, and he never missed a show. And I'm glad that Pam, I think it was, let us know what happened. But it was heartbreaking. Really, really was. So none of our days are numbered. None of us. So it is Christmas time. More than the gifts. let's spend time with each other, family and friends, and let's love on each other for a little bit. That's all we have time for today. Thank you so much. It's good to be back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We'll be back 100% by next video, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, be rocking and rolling.
Especially by the live stream. Don't miss it this Friday, 8 p.m.
Yeah, be a whole lot less hair.
As I got a hat for you to wear afterwards, don't worry. Yep.
Thank goodness. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. See you next time. Right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.